snacks.
What it do, snackers, snackettes, and snack X's? It's your boy Gage. I'm here with Sin.
Yes, sir.
Just Sin.
You know, kind of how things start nowadays.
You know what? It's that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Jokes will be joining us at some point through the show. We're not taking bets on time. That's not even. I just feel like we don't need to do that, right, Sin?
Fair enough.
I mean, if you feel like you want to throw it out there, you can throw it out there. You feel like there's a little bit of a. You feel the need to push the button? Nah, you're good. Just leave it like it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Well, then you know what? I'm gonna let you do his job.
Well, let's go ahead and do that.
So to get the beacons link up for everybody who's watching, hanging out with us. While he's doing that, just want to state that beacons link tells you all the best ways to find us. See where we are. What's up, Doctor Who? See what we're up to. And next month is going to be a doozy. There's a lot happening next month. So, what's up, Heather? We're all over the place. And to be honest, things are shifting quickly. Andrew, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's been a great week. I hope your week has also been going pretty great. It's only Tuesday, but we're almost at hump day. Halfway through. Almost time for Deadpool for some of us.
Yes.
Yeah. We won't really get into that right now. Right, Sam? We're not gonna get into that.
No.
I do want to throw a little reminder out there that almost all of our content from BlurCon is up and available on YouTube. I highly suggest taking a look at that. There's an interview with Walter Jones, Walter E. Jones, the original Black Power Ranger. There is an interview with Atatu Akani, who is who played King T'Chaka, but the young version of King T'Chaka in Black Panther. There's an interview with Phil Lamar, voice actor famous for Jon Stewart, Green Lantern, for Hermes on Futurama, for Samurai Jack, you name it. Or if you are as old as Sin and I, what's up, Candace? For being the UPS man on Mad TV back in the day. I highly recommend, if you don't know what I'm talking about, that you look up UPS man Mad TV on YouTube and go ahead and have yourself a giggle or four. There's an interview with Ahmed Best, our Being Comfortable Being a Geek panel that we did for the VIPs. It's also live. Did you make the interview you shot Sin live with Dandy Lynn? Is that live?
It'll be live tomorrow.
It'll be live tomorrow.
Yes.
As will, I think, our wrestling panel. We had a little bit of a snafu with the upload of the wrestling panel. It went up. We had to take it down. So some people did view it. Like there were like 6 views on it or whatever when we took it down. But, all that stuff is up. Highly recommend checking it out. Hello, mother. And would appreciate your support there. Share it if you like what you see. Thumbs up it. Drop your comments, questions, concerns, and so forth. Always helpful. Super helpful. Now, having gotten that out of the way, Sin.
Yes, sir.
We have been very busy. And because we have been very busy, there are some things that happen in the news that we would normally discuss that we did not.
Okay.
And I was going to let it go. But then something else happened today that was related to it. So I guess we have to discuss the price hike for Xbox Game Pass.
Okay.
Before I even get into details, just give me your overall thoughts on the price hike.
I don't have a problem with it concerning what they give us. And now that everything with the Activision like stuff, it's pretty much we're gonna start rolling that stuff into Game Pass. That's a lot more games that we're gonna get. So I can completely understand with the price hike. Yeah, I get it.
Well, it's a lot more games that we could possibly get, but it doesn't, like, in terms of like day one stuff, sure, but like we just don't know what they're actually going to do with the back catalog, right? And I think that it felt like a safe assumption, and that we've talked about it as if it was almost fact that, like, oh, well, clearly there's all this stuff that's Activision, Tony Hawk games and Guitar Hero and blah blah blah, and like all that's going to be in Game Pass. We just don't necessarily know that they're going to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's an option there for them to monetize in a way that maybe they haven't been able to before because they didn't have all of that IP. And so there is 100% the possibility that they are looking at all of the IP that they now have ownership of, and they're going to take the opportunity to cherry pick and just be like, well, yeah, this we can throw in there. So like maybe we see Spyro and we see Crash, whatever. But maybe we don't see them until they're ready to release a new one, or there's something else like that happening, right? Like it could be that
Mm-hmm.
eventually we get it, but I think because under other acquisitions, like when Bethesda happened, it just felt like they just started chucking their whole back catalog in. You know what I mean? We just started getting stuff. Same thing with like Double Fine. Oh, they went and they bought this studio and then they just made basically all of their games available in Game Pass to us at no additional charge. Activision is a much bigger beast, and I think they might be thinking about it very differently. I do think that there's a possibility that initially going in, that might have been what their plan was. We're going to have such an incredible back catalog that everybody's going to want to be in Game Pass. But I think that some of the troubles they had with the FTC and so forth, like forcing them to have to do cloud streaming but share it with other people. They had to do the deal with Ubisoft that's supposed to be for like 10 years, and they had to do, you know what I mean? Like all that
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff that still is a thing that's rearing its head, is also in some manner chopping into the total amount of money that they would have seen from having spent $70 billion to acquire them. And so even if that was initially the plan, I think maybe that changed a little bit. Um, let's talk a bit about what, not just the price increases, but the change, because there have been some changes to what Game Pass is.
Okay.
Um, so
Pretty interesting.
if you're looking on the screen, what you see now are three different versions of Game Pass, and these are three versions of Game Pass that exist or will exist anyway for console. So right now you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and you have Xbox Game Pass Core. That's it. But coming soon, according to their own, it's supposed to be like at the end of this, like the beginning of next month or the end of next month.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this new Game Pass standard. Um, and so now we have three tiers for console, and then you still have Game Pass Core and Game Pass for PC. So there's still two other versions of it for PC. So I want to go over kind of what we're getting, what the pricing structure is like, and just kind of get some of your opinions on that. Um, so, and I'm look, um, this this increase that we're seeing is, um, again, I think easy to kind of pin on Activision. I think more people are kind of pinning it on Call of Duty, which again we'll kind of get to. So you have Game Pass Core, so the lowest tier, $10 a month, um, and if you starting right now it's $10 a month. If you starting September 18th, it's going up. It'll be like $75 a year. Right now it's $60 a year. Um,
To
Game
play online.
Pass.
Okay.
Say again.
To pretty much play online. I mean, you get
That's
a
pretty
couple
much it.
games.
Like if you look at the Game Pass core, there are a select number of games that you get. So see,
Yeah.
25 plus high quality games on console, online console multiplayer, and then member deals and discounts that you get for being in.
Right.
Um, Game Pass standard is $15 a month. So this is the newest Game Pass tier. Um, and what you get for $15 a month, which is like right now, the ultimate is $17 a month. Um, Standard, hundreds of high quality games on console, online console multiplayer, member deals and discounts. And then you have Game Pass Ultimate, which is basically Game Pass on the console as well as on PC. Going up to $20 a month. Again, it's $17 a month now. It's going up to $20 a month, so a $3 price jump. Um, and here's what you get with that: day one releases, hundreds of high quality games, online console multiplayer, member deals and discounts, EA Play membership, cloud gaming on multiple devices, and free perks every month. So the big thing about this is the day one releases.
I would say the cloud streaming too, just because hard drive space is so rare now. But the option to be able to do that is helpful.
Well, yeah, but I don't think that cloud gaming is quite as robust a thing. Like now, again, when you're putting your app on Fire TV and saying, hey, you can play Xbox without a console, you can just stream and whatever, then clearly cloud is a directive they're going for, and you would need Ultimate in order to be able to do that, right?
Yep.
So you got to pay $20 a month if you're
Yep.
just a Fire TV, whatever. Now, Game Pass has always been a thing that touted day one first party releases, right?
hmm
So the idea that now you can be in Game Pass and
Not
not
have
get day one, where are we on this, Sin?
Uh, I mean, it sucks, but I mean, all the stuff they're adding into it, all the things they're doing with Game Pass, I feel like it was only a matter of time before something like this would happen. Like as they break up into different tiers and separate things a little bit, like how we've just been looking. I mean, business wise, I feel like it makes sense looking at it. I mean, it's definitely going to suck for the people who aren't in that $20 tier and go to the lesser tiers. You know what I mean? Somebody like my brother who's just getting back into it. I'm like, yeah, day one, dog, you get everything that come out. You get everything that come out. Now there's options to choose. Like, do you want to pay that money to have that, or you want to save money and go lesser, but you don't have those access to those games anymore? So it sucks that they've kind of stepped back away from that and switched it to more of a tier thing. But business wise, I get it. So I mean, it is what it is.
Here's the thing that I think is the most interesting and maybe the most confusing. Microsoft has always promised or stated, maybe promise is the wrong way to do it, but all of our first party games will be available day one in Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at this official release from Xbox, it just says day one releases. It does not specify first party. And so that, when you consider the number of third party and indie and so forth that they have been announcing that are going day one, Kunitsigami Path of the Goddess drop
Mm-hmm.
this week. Flintlock drop this week. Third
Mm-hmm.
party, they're not Microsoft titles. They're not first party games, but they're day one in Game Pass. Does that mean that you don't get that either? And is there now going to be mixed messaging when Microsoft does a conference where they have to say day one in Game Pass Ultimate versus saying day one in
Yeah,
Game Pass. And
yeah,
if they're telling you, well, you don't get day one unless you're in Ultimate, how upset are people going to be if they're paying the extra money for Ultimate and there are people who aren't paying that and they're still getting games that are day one, right? And how long, what's the wait period? You know, Game Pass now is almost going to be like the movie theater. Do you go see the movie right away in the movie theater, or do you wait
or
for it to
you wait.
come to streaming, right? So if you have one of the lower tiers of Game Pass, standard or core, standard, I would imagine, right? But standard or core, is it just a matter of, yeah, this is coming day one, but in 6 months, it's going to be on standard Game Pass and I can just wait? It's not worth it for me to
Yeah,
pay the extra money. You see what I'm
pay the extra
saying?
$20 a month where I can wait a month or two before I get my hands on it. If it drops in regular Game Pass, I don't have to go pay for it.
And yeah, and it also, I think, muddies the water in terms of whether or not they decided, like, is it always going to be 6 months? Are some games are going to wait a year before they do it? If it's a game that's, say, first party like a Starfield, are you going to get it in Ultimate and then the regular everybody else who's not in Ultimate is going to get it, but they're only going to get it when it's also available on PlayStation, right? When they decide to like flip it over, oh, a year from now we're going to make it available on PlayStation and everybody can play. Is it, oh, well, this game is a multiplayer game like a Sea of Thieves, and so we want more people to have it, so we're going to make that available to everybody sooner because we'll be able to report numbers that say there are way more players playing this game. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So today they announced Call of Duty 3 Modern Warfare coming to Game Pass tomorrow. They announced it today that it's coming tomorrow. Now, as of right now, anybody who's in Game Pass is getting it,
right.
right? But does that mean that on September 18th, when the new tiers roll out, if you stay standard and you're not ultimate, are you keeping
You're
that
gonna
Call of Duty?
hit that button and be like, yeah, you don't have access to this or
I
something
mean,
like that.
again,
Like,
at this point, it's not a day one because that game's already out.
true, true.
But what does it mean for Call of Duty going forward this year when that comes out and it's day one? And you've
Got to be
already stated day one Game Pass, which you're not lying if it does come to Game Pass day one, but it's only Ultimate.
true.
You know what I
True.
mean?
Yeah, they're gonna have to clean up. They're definitely gonna have to clean up that wording before Call of Duty comes out for sure. 100%.
Do they though? Do they though?
I feel
Because
like
if
people are gonna
people
ask these
just jump
questions.
on like, oh snap, I can get Call of Duty for, you know,
twenty
I have
bucks.
standard. I'll pay extra $3 a month to not pay. You know, if you're looking, look, if you're going standard and Call of Duty is 70, how long is it going to take you for that additional $3 to add up to $70? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just,
Yeah,
it,
it'll get there sooner rather than later. Yeah, and we
I
look
just
at
think
20
it's,
bucks. It doesn't feel too bad. Like $20, I can pay it for a month, get in, and run it. I don't got to drop and use up all it. Well, they still use the hard drive space. So yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, look, $20 a month if all you play is Call of Duty is stupid. Because in 3 months, you've basically paid for the full game,
yeah.
but you do have access to a lot of other stuff. And so
And
if you're
that's the
going to
idea.
play other stuff, again, you're paying for all that other stuff, right? Like, if you have Netflix, there's no way you're watching everything that's on Netflix. You're just watching the stuff you want. You're just watching the stuff you like. You
Yeah,
pay the same amount as everybody, though. They're still charging you for everything that's available. You just
facts.
not, you know what I'm saying? It's a, it's tricky. It is kind of tricky. And now the FTC is back at it.
Oh Lord.
Well, because according to them, one of Microsoft's pleas to them is that one of their things, saying they shouldn't allow Microsoft to make this purchase of Activision is because they're going to hike up the price of Game Pass and they're going to whatever because of Call of Duty. And now they've made these price hikes, and the FTC is like, see, this is exactly what we're talking about. We're going back to court. And so,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
but I
They can
also
say
think
it's they can say it's not because of Call of Duty.
it's
And
because of everything in the
and,
Activision.
right?
But that also means they have to be able, they got to start pumping out. I think at Gamescom, they're saying Gamescom this year is going to be one of their biggest like presences ever.
Okay.
I think Gamescom is when they're going to start being like, here comes Spyro, here comes Crash Bandicoot, here comes Tony Hawk, here comes like they're just going to start. I do think they're going to start dumping stuff in there, and and now I think they're going to do it because the FTC is going
Just
like,
looking at them.
see what we said,
Yeah.
and they're going to be like, no. This isn't about Call of Duty. This is about everything else. Like, look
Mm-hmm.
how many titles total you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That's
tricky,
gonna be
bro.
interesting. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to keep an eye on
But I'm gonna tell you what.
for sure. What?
I'm gonna download Modern Warfare 3 tomorrow and play a Call of Duty game for the first time in like a decade. They got me.
It's Game Pass.
It's
Why
going
not?
down. It's going down. Meet me in the club. It's going down.
Why not?
Hey, you know what? Club Game Pass. It's going down. I'm going to I'm absolutely tomorrow. However, I'm gonna be seriously looking at my hard drive space.
I was about to say that because I know mine is on thin right now. I got to
One
clear
Call of
out
Duty
some
joints be
games.
like
Easy,
150 gigs.
easy.
So that's gonna be a little tricky. Um let's switch gears, shall we?
Sure. Yeah. It's on the docket.
Oh, your
2 years
best
ago, the name Arthur Fleck hit Gotham like a hurricane.
The trial of the century.
They believe Arthur Fleck to be some kind of martyr. Well, he's not. There's a monster.
When you're smiling, when I'm smiling,
When I
You
first
did
saw
watch the first one,
Joker,
right?
Nope.
When I saw
Oh.
you,
the whole world smiles with you.
for once in my life, I didn't feel so alone anymore.
When you're laughing, oh, when you're laughing,
Well, she took the TV like it was gonna work unplugged.
come shining through. For once in my life, I have someone who needs me.
How about you, Arthur?
Hmm.
Do you still think you're a star?
Showtime. The whole world smiles with you.
You can do anything you want.
The sun comes
You're Joker.
Look around! Look at all these people!
Bring on,
I will no longer allow any of you
so stop your sighing.
to keep me down!
Be happy again.
I got the sneaking suspicion that we're not giving the people what they want.
It's okay, baby. Let's give the people what they want.
Yo,
Sing hallelujah. Come on, get happy. Ready for the judgment day.
Still on the board for it.
are you?
Yeah.
You didn't see the first one. How come you didn't watch the first one?
No, literally no reason. Just didn't.
I mean, Joker's your favorite guy.
True, yes. But I just like I said, when I say like, I don't watch movies like that, I really like don't, unless it's for something we're doing. Like I just,
I mean, this is a
yeah,
okay. It's DC.
I know.
It's super villains. All right, look, man. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not. They're like, let's give the people what they want. I'm not sure this is what the people want. I'm concerned. I don't know that we want a musical for this, or that the sequel to something that wasn't a musical should be a musical. But they seem to be leaning really hard into that, and I don't for sure know that that's what this is, but it certainly looks like showbiz.
It was sold to me as being a musical, so I had no intention of really caring about it at first until seeing the trailer. Then it's like, okay, I'm kind of digging this and where it's going. So,
what are you digging about it?
I like the story it seems to be telling. I like the visuals. You know what I'm saying? I like Joker and I like Harley. Like I want to see this interaction with them and see where they're taking it.
That's interesting
because it's Lady Gaga.
Because this joint tells you absolutely nothing. Like, having not seen the first movie, you have nothing to glean from this joint. Like, it's literally telling you nothing because you haven't seen. Like, for me, some of the stuff they're saying in the trailer, like, I get it. I know what they mean because of the way that the first movie is super smart in the way that it takes like the story of Arthur Fleck becoming the Joker, and how it infects the city. The thing about the first movie that's really bad, the ending's kind of bad. Actually, it's not that bad. It's all right. But the movie itself I think is really good, and I really appreciated the take on it. This I'm not so sure. I don't know that I'm gonna like this as much as I liked the first one. The first one I wasn't sure about, but I liked the more dramatic approach to telling the story of the Joker. This certainly looks like it's got some drama. I'm just not sure about the strength of the musical portion. I like musicals. I don't know. It's not quite doing it for me, but I have every intention of seeing it. You know what I mean? It's not quite there. This trailer is not doing it for me. I'm sure there will be another trailer between now and October 4th.
Yeah, we got plenty of time for another one, yeah.
And I'll be honest, I think they need another trailer. I think this trailer is worse than the first trailer they had for this. So, though it does give you a better glimpse of Harley, we'll see. I don't know. I can't follow where they are, why he's in jail, why he's out of jail. It looks like maybe it's about the trial and them taking him back and forth to the courthouse for the trials. We'll see, man. I'm it might be cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely I do have to sit down and watch the first one before I go see the second one. So I'm gonna do that sooner rather than later. Probably sometime after we get through Wolverine and Deadpool, get through all that.
Yeah.
Sit down and watch
Yeah. It's one of those things that just kind of has me like, I've been so concerned about Warner Brothers and what Warner Brothers is doing with their properties. DC Comics right now is going through kind of it's not a reboot technically, but they are kind of doing a restart to give people a jumping off point, which I think is really smart. But it kind of just, with what's happening with their properties and the way they just like, nah, we're not putting this out. We filmed it. It costs us this much, but we don't care. We're not going to put it out.
Right.
It just kind of, I'm a little concerned about it. And then today, they just announced like, oh, we bought the studio that made Multiverses. Andrew says, do you think we will get Batman, or is he too young? He'd be training with the League of Shadows. Here's the thing. I don't know if you saw the first movie, Andrew, but this doesn't even necessarily appear to be in the same world. Like, this Arthur Fleck character, I don't think technically is the Joker. I think that Arthur Fleck is the catalyst for the Joker becoming a thing. And I believe that
he was the inspiration.
Maybe in a part 3. Again, it's weird because they're in Harley.
Yeah, like Fleck is the catalyst that brings about the Joker that we know, potentially. Like,
correct. Because, not to get too spoilery about the first film, but basically that's kind of what happens in the first film. Like, it's like he becomes the first Joker. It's kind of how it seems. And you know how Joker's always had like henchmen, if you will. Like, they've always been like these clowns running around, whatever.
You see him in the trailer, dudes with the mask on and stuff like that. Like, all that's kind of coming together.
Yeah. It's kind of like that. And it felt like that was more of the direction that it was going with that story, which I think is why I liked it, because I think that it felt anyway like it wasn't about any version of the Joker that we've ever seen. Like, we know in the comics now, there's 3 Jokers. Again, that's some of the dumbest. Let me run it back. I don't want to just, because I'll go off on a whole, but I don't think so. I don't think we get, like, there's no Commissioner Gordon, there's no Officer Gordon, there's no, like, none of that exists in that first film.
He was still in the military at that time, but still,
or whatever, right? I'm just saying, like, there doesn't appear to be a Wayne family, so to speak, in this. Like, it doesn't really get into that. So, no, I don't think so. I think that it's almost like this run of films is just about the Joker. It doesn't matter if anybody else who you would think of exists, with the exception of maybe a Harley, because she's so tied to the Joker. But kind of exploring the mental crisis that this man goes through, that puts him in the position that makes him who he ends up being, was just very interesting. And again, I thought it was just some really solid storytelling that had some decent twists. Tardy tie, dog. No, you know what? You're never actually late, bro, because whenever you show up, that's when you're expected. You know what I'm saying? Tardy tie. It's in the name.
Right.
Welcome to the show. But of course you're in time for us to talk about DC stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He heard it.
Yeah, definitely. It's like somebody put the bat signal up or something.
Yeah.
Again, like the 20th now. Like,
the Lotus Night signal went up. Oh, they're talking DC. Let me log
in. They talking about DC. Yeah, this I honestly, Andrew, don't think we're gonna get anything related to Batman in this. If anything, I think there might be a side mention. He could be a child or something like that. Like, I just feel like they are not doing anything to tie this Joker directly to Batman or the Waynes really in any direct way. And I'm actually kind of okay with that. Like, I do think that telling a story like this, like, I do feel like oftentimes we're far too reliant on. One of my biggest issues with DC as a whole is that I feel like they're far too reliant on what is considered as their triple threat, like their big 3, which are Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Everything revolves around them, and if it doesn't have anything to do with them, it doesn't do any good. And I feel like DC doesn't really put any real money or backing behind it, because I don't think they believe wholeheartedly in any of the rest of the characters they have. And so I like the idea of them. I mean, again, clearly Joker is tied to Batman. So you can do a Joker movie where you don't even mention Batman because the character is actually that interesting. that shows me that yep, they like maybe they're starting to get it. Maybe Watchmen did that for them in some manner. But being able to do something like this movie, the first movie, really made me go, bro, they should just do the question. It's so weird.
Saying that, yeah.
It doesn't have like it just he's a detective. You know what I mean? And you could tie somebody else in, but it doesn't have to be anybody with a big name. You know what I mean? And you don't even necessarily need when they have done that in the past, when they have done it and they haven't leaned on other characters that exist. It's been stuff like Constantine, right? Like when John Wick and Constantine were the same guy. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Yeah. They've done like Jonah Hex, but like it didn't really
Thanos.
It didn't really hit Megan Fox. Like it was, you know what I mean? And at the time, Megan Fox was like was a name. Like they have tried some things with some of the other names that exist. But it seems to always kind of fall back.
Yeah, it'd be good to see them believe in some of these other heroes and stuff like that, and not just use them for comedic purposes, for cannon fodder and other people's shows, like stuff like that. Like there's you have a barrage of characters, interesting characters that you can go through and build real stories off of.
Yeah, and I mean, even doing something like a name drop or like an Easter egg that has like a newspaper article that names him automatically takes some kind of credence away from the story you're telling with your main character, because then people started to, they are in the same world. Batman does exist. He got to show up sometime. You know what I mean? And it does kind of start.
Everybody's anticipating when's Batman going to show up,
right? And who's it going to be? Who's playing that role? And because they're doing this kind of separate universe thing where like this Joker really doesn't have anything to do with anything else DC or anything else Batman, it really kind of is a one-off. It reminds me a lot of ways of like a one-shot in comics where they're just like, we're doing a graphic novel about this character that you know from dealing with other characters or whatever, but we really have a story we want to tell in this space. Warner Brothers is DC's biggest villain, which again, today they announced they bought Play First Games, which is the developer that's doing Multiverses, undisclosed amount. Y'all been playing around with them for like 2 years. You know what I mean? Why are you doing this now? I mean, I feel like it's a good sign for the game. I think maybe the game is doing well. Yeah. Some of what they're saying is that having this developer now technically be in-house will help to speed up the transition of assets and stuff like that, because there's less like red tape to go through where you're like, you guys need to sign non-disclosures about this kind of thing, and we can't just give you this character because whatever. Well, now you're under Warner Brothers. So the fact that you have like Beetlejuice come in, and Samurai Jack come in, and you know, whatever, like the speed with which the developer needs to have access to the characters, and it can clearly only be characters that are from their rosters that they own, their IP. Maybe it does really help with that kind of thing. So as you plan out, here's season 2, here's season 3, here's season 4, and if we really want to take this game and make it profitable, we need to be able to continuously turn out new characters on a regular basis without there being any kind of a holdup. Maybe that does it. You know, it remains to be seen, but I think, you know, again, announcing this, bringing them in-house, and then being like, by the way, you're getting Samurai Jack. Shout out to Phil Lamar. You know what I mean?
Right.
Getting Samurai Jack. Oh, and you're getting Beetlejuice. And people are like, why? Who cares about Beetlejuice? Well, this is why. Because...
When you're all driving carpool and banging your Pilates instructors to fill the empty voids in your life, we'll see who gets the last laugh. mom grew up here. That old house on the hill.
Wait, the ghost house? Is your mom Lydia Dietz?
Unfortunately.
She's a legend.
The living, the dead. Can they coexist?
Now's my chance.
Ghosts aren't real. Only gullible people believe that kind of crap.
I can't believe I'm doing this. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I need you to help me save my daughter. But how do I know that you're gonna keep your word?
I swear on my dead mother's soul. Days. Bob, you and the boys stand guard. Nobody gets through. Let's go, honey.
Recognize this post.
Never seen that chick before in my life. Or afterlife.
Are you doing this?
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I'm needed upstairs. Bob, hold down the fort. Spill your guts. Who wants to go first? All right, I will. See, I'm willing to do the work.
This for the afterlife is so random.
Do that thing from my dream. Really more nightmare material.
Confronting the unknown, conquering your fears. There's nothing harder.
What the f? Thank you all for coming to this special occasion, but right now with like a little privacy.
Okay.
Sin,
Yeah.
do you care?
I'm not going to the theater to watch it. I'll probably watch it when it comes home. So, no, I think it's just been so long. I love the original Beetlejuice. I used to watch it all the time growing up. But it's just been so long. Like
I was getting ready to say, when's the last time you watched it?
I can't. Yeah, no, not. Like
Now you could.
Decades since I've watched it.
Huh. Okay. Listen, big Beetlejuice fan back in the day, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the movie all the time, just like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Used to watch the cartoon. One of the funniest cartoons ever made. Just stupid. Didn't have anything to do with anything. Wasn't really about the movie, but
It's Beetlejuice.
Rich, are you right, Rich? It's weird. It's super weird, but that's what it's Tim Burton.
Yeah, that's all you need to know. The Tim
Equals
Burton movie.
weird. That's it. I think the only thing he did that isn't weird is Batman. Because Batman 2, Penguin was weird, bro.
But it was so good.
Oh, it was great.
Him eating
It
the
was
fish.
great.
Oh, that was so disgusting.
It was perfect. Just little nub hand things like ain't DeVito, bro. You know what I'm saying? Goated, bro. I don't think I'm gonna go see this in the theater. It will take some coaxing.
Yes.
Which means probably somebody else is paying.
Right.
I am interested. Maybe another trailer, I'll be like, all right.
Mm-hmm.
I like Willem Dafoe.
Cool. Yeah, Green Goblin.
Hey, look, you take two Spider-Man villains and put them in the same movie.
I mean,
I might not have a choice.
You're on the path. You're on the path already.
I might just have to go see what's popping.
Sprinkle a little Wednesday.
Yeah. It's got a little Stranger Things in there. Yeah, I mean,
it's hitting some things.
It's in there, bro.
It is.
I could completely ignore this joint and be fine though. I don't think I'll feel like I'm missing anything. And said it's worth a look. Sounds like man is buying tickets.
Family outing.
I don't know. Nah, I mean that sounds like a family viewing, like in-house streaming services. That joint
45 days later.
That should be the name of that movie, dog. The name of the trailer, 45 days later. I don't know. I mean, I am interested. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe. I chuckled at the trailer, and that's generally a good sign.
True.
Also,
you need a reaction out of the trailer, then yeah, they're doing something right.
Yeah, I feel like we are missing what we are missing right now in the theaters. What our children don't have is Home Alone. They have nothing, bro. There are no kids movies that are like, the kids movies are all Pixar and Disney. That's it. There are no like straight up just live action comedy joints with slapstick. It doesn't exist. They don't have that's part of what these children are missing. They need like children foiling adult plans, like outsmarting the grown-ups kind of stuff, bro. There's no Harriet the Spy, there's no Home Alone, there's no Blank Check. They don't have a Surf Ninjas. There's no dog. They don't have anything.
I don't think they care about it.
They got nothing. Well, they don't care because there's nothing there, right? Like even the stuff that kind of should be for them, technically is stuff for us that they try to make for them. So it's like, yeah, there are like live action CG Ninja Turtles movies. However, that's not really for y'all.
Right.
And it failed us. So therefore, yeah, like they just don't, there isn't any of that stuff. Right. And so like the fact that Inside Out 2 is like on the path to be the highest grossing animated film of all time right now, I am positive is only because there's nothing else for kids to watch. Like we just don't, like all they have to look forward to are like animated. There's none of that. They just, and like we went from that kind of slapstick stuff because of the way comedy was made then, like directly into like Happy Gilmore. Like we went from that kind of comedy with some slapstick and kind of like, dog, they have no Harry and the Hendersons. They have nothing, bro. There's nothing equivalent. Zero, bro.
No.
That's the problem. That's the problem. There's nothing, dog. Like, where is New Line Cinema when you need them, dog? Just dropping joints. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we need a production house that focuses on that stuff.
Out there dropping failures, bro. Like out there just being like, you know what? This is but the kids gonna love it. The parents gonna hate it. They don't really want to do it. Home Alone, all of them, even the bad ones that don't have Macaulay Culkin, still kind of classic.
Oh, there was ones without Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, I need to look this up.
The Santa Claus, dog. Like, where are these joints? They're all like TV show. They're made for TV joints that just go like they're just a streaming joint or something like that. Like, I don't. It's like 4 Home Alone movies, right? I'm not crazy. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
See, I told you.
1, 2, 3. Who is all these little bastards? Okay.
I'm just telling you, yeah.
Nope. Okay. Apparently, I missed that.
They got nothing, bro. Meanwhile, X-Men 97 out here getting Emmy nominations. You know what I'm saying?
Episode 5. Forever.
Fallout got like 16 Emmy nominations. We eating good right now.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm coach is saying yeah.
I think we're doing all right. I want to read the nominations for Outstanding Drama Series.
Ooh.
They are
okay.
The Crown,
Okay.
Fallout,
Okay.
The Gilded Age,
Haven't heard
The
of it.
Morning Show,
Okay.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith,
Okay.
Shogun,
Okay.
Slow Horses,
Haven't heard of
and
it.
Three Body Problem.
Okay. Heard of. Okay. So only 2 of those I haven't heard of.
And
I've
you
heard
know
good
what?
things about all of them.
Here's what's crazy. Absolutely zero of them come from standard TV. They're all streaming. Netflix, Prime Video, HBO, Apple TV Plus, FX. You know, which I guess is real TV, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like most people watch it on Hulu streaming. I just think that's interesting that we don't really have that. Hold on. We're gonna go past that. Not looking at not doing talk series, not doing scripted shows.
There's a lot more you can do with streaming, so it's a lot more you can get away with.
I would agree. Both Maya Erskine and Donald Glover were nominated for lead actor and actress in Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Okay.
Walton Goggins, lead actor for Fallout.
Okay.
I find interesting. Idris Elba for Hijack.
Hijack. That's the only thing he had come out, I think, with this past year. Yeah.
What I didn't do was watch that, and I probably should have.
I heard when the time it was run, I heard good things about it.
You know, Only Motors in the Building got a lot of looks. I'm all right. Hold on, it's taking a little longer than I wanted to. There's a lot of categories, Sin.
Of course, it's the Emmys. Shogun, I do want to watch though. I heard great things about that. I do want to see.
I don't have time. I actually was talking about that with my mother the other day because I'm like, I really do want to watch it. It's like right up my alley in terms of the type of show it is, but like I can't dedicate my television viewing outside of like if I'm doing something for Spoiler Boys or if we're doing like movie club. It's rare that I can turn everything else off and just watch a thing because I always have something else I need to do. And so most of the time when I am consuming television or visual media of some sort, I am doing something else. I am writing something, editing something like that. And because it's subtitled and I have to read it, I can't watch Shogun that way. And that's the only reason why I haven't watched it. I didn't know that it was subtitled. I sat down to try to watch it and didn't know that it was subtitled. And I was like, oh, I can't do this. I got stuff to do.
Until you just said it. But,
yeah, okay. It's completely subtitled. So like, I'll be honest. Maybe I didn't see a way to change the language option on it, which makes sense for what it is. But
let's find that out. Let's see if it is
a 1, a 2, a 3.
Options.
Yeah, I'm very like, I don't know. I don't really get into the award shows and so forth, but like I do feel like they've been much better over the last couple of years. I know we used to talk about this stuff all the time and how like they just didn't seem to nominate the right people, and it didn't and I don't know. I never watch them. It didn't matter. Now they seem to do a much better job of like actually doing stuff that like we care about and giving some like credence to the kinds of stuff that I think deserves it that maybe didn't get it before. So it's very interesting to me that like a thing like a Fallout, like I think 5 years ago, even if Fallout was exactly as good then as it was now, it would have gotten like 0 and it wouldn't get any looks. I don't necessarily think it's going to win, but I think it'll win something. I think with all the categories it's nominated for, I think it'll win something. What you got, Sam?
No, so Ma Dukes put up The Bear is awesome. I really want to watch The Bear. I've heard nothing but great things about that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are complaining about the newest season. Yeah, I sat with her and watched part of an episode and understood why people are enjoying it. I just don't. I can't have the time. I'm still playing catch up.
I did find a version English with English subtitle. Now, of Shogun, so I'm trying to see. I'm waiting for somebody to say something.
That's not the way it's supposed to be watched, or whatever. And it might be. I mean, and again, it could be the voice acting could be terrible or something. I don't know. Nonetheless.
Oh no, that's a lie. That's a lie. Yeah. What I read said English subtitles, but he was definitely speaking Japanese, clear as day. So maybe the English people in it speak English.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm sure that makes sense.
Yeah. So, but no,
yeah,
Japanese.
Not happening.
Yep.
Look, I think we need to wrap the show up. I got games to play. You know what I'm saying? Content to create. A little bit of changes to make to some things. I want to make sure you all are aware that the Loaded Stacks Movie Club discussion for the movie Missing is happening on Monday evening, 8 o'clock. Hopefully everybody will be there, but we may miss one or two. We'll try to get. It's going to be a good discussion nonetheless. I'm feeling pretty positive.
Watch it this week, so
make sure you knock that out, buddy. You will see we will be doing a spoiler boys for Deadpool and Wolverine. Look for some reactions from myself and Jokes on Thursday, on like IG and so forth. That will be hitting then, and then once in watches it on Saturday. We haven't actually worked out the schedule for when we're gonna actually record the spoiler boys. We will do it, but like when that's happening,
y'all know it's coming.
Yeah, that's definitely coming. And it's going to be a topic of discussion, but without spoilers on Tuesday, when we do weekly again. That is just kind of how it is. We do have multiple conferences coming up over the next month. Throughout almost all of, I think there's only one weekend in August where we don't, I shouldn't say we don't have a convention. We aren't going to a convention like one weekend. And in some cases there are, and actually in at least two of those weekends there's more than one convention happening. Yeah. So we're going to a bunch of stuff. We still haven't completely figured out how we're splitting all our time and doing all this stuff, but like we're working it out. And some things are kind of adjusting on the fly, like right now, like literally as of this week. Yeah. So again, we'll keep you posted on what's going on with that and kind of what to expect and how that all gets handled. But we are already planning for Extra Life. So mark that on your calendars. First weekend in November.
Yes, sir.
We'll be doing that. Yeah, it's getting ready to go down. We've actually kind of been planning for it, prepping for it the majority of the year, kind of prepping what games and kind of figuring out what stuff seems like it'll work and all that kind of stuff. So I think Extra Life is going to be extra special this year. Sin.
Yes, sir.
I know it's the end of the show, but you have a job to do. We didn't do it at the beginning.
No. So with that, let's shout out our top tier patrons. Started with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dortch, Tyrone Carson, Taking the Skin, Alex Lee, Ellis Mbe, and Kermit Ferguson. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
That we do. Can't do it without you. I mean, we can, but it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't even be close to the same. So greatly appreciate you all for supporting us. And we appreciate everybody for watching and hanging out with us this evening. You could be anywhere in the world. You actually might be doing something else while this is happening, and that's perfectly fine too. I also want to throw out there that we are making the consideration of turning this show into an audio podcast, and I would love to hear feedback on whether or not you all would like for that to be a thing. It's not a huge leap in effort, but it does take some additional effort to do that. And, you know, so let us know if you think that would be something that you all would be interested in. Because we may be going that route. We just have to figure out the logistics of being like, it's the first audio episode, but it's like episode 230 technically. So like, you just, you know, but we gotta start somewhere if we're gonna do it. So you know, maybe we'll pick a particular episode where we're doing something special to make that like a first kind of thing. Outside of that, a new episode of Snacking and Hanging getting ready to go up on Patreon. So for Patreon members, check that out. And then we do have a question of the month we're getting ready to do that you'll have.
Yep.
As we get ready to transition into next month. Already, bro. August. Let me tell you a secret, though.
What that is.
So, for those of y'all who aren't aware, like I work at Lowe's on the full-time, you know what I'm saying, on the full-time basis. And the Halloween stuff is already out.
Spooky season.
The secret, though, is the Christmas stuff comes like next week. Like,
disgusting. It is not even August.
It won't necessarily be out like to buy, but they're shipping it. Like it's coming. Like they don't ain't no it's coming
somewhere.
Oh, it's coming. Trim a tree, dog. It's coming. So like, if you one of them Halloween people that just love Halloween and can't wait for Halloween, you better get in there and get it now. We done sold out of stuff. Like it's not available anymore already for Halloween. We sold out of stuff before it hit the stores. Damn. It was online, and it's gone, bro. That's right, Doctor Who. Hit that like button. Listen, I appreciate y'all. We're getting out of here. Please keep in mind that you all are the reason why we do what we do this way. Because we be having these conversations, even if we weren't having them like with you, it would just be us though.
Be right in the Discord doing it.
It'd be much lonelier. You know what I'm saying? So, we do really appreciate y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us this evening. We're out. Toodles and loose.
Loading snacks.